I guess the two people that I want to play against the most in All Stars is Uzi and aphromoo. I've already played against Uzi. The reason I want to play against him so much is because back about 2 years ago, I was actually an AD carry, and I learned how to play AD carry from Uzi. After I changed to support, I actually learned how to play support from aphromoo by watching his streams. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing against him. So against NA, I'm going to try really hard because I'm a very frequent Reddit user, and I would love to see the Reddit post if Southeast Asia beats North America.
Well, you play well enough. This will definitely be top comment of the thread. It'll be all about you, buddy. Welcome to the Battle Theater for our second game of the day, which pits the Southeast Asian All-Stars versus the team from North America. And up first on the blue side is going to be the North American All-Stars. Their first game of the day. Hauntzer up in the top lane. MikeYeung in the jungle. Bjergsen in mid. Sneaky and aphromoo. Of course, you heard him talking about aphromoo there. In the bot lane, as well as Coach Song.
Yeah, I really do love that when we get stories where they look up to these players and finally get to see them in real life and play against them. So, on the red side, playing against them, it will be Southeast Asia. In the top lane is Jisu. In the jungle, Levi. In the mid lane, Patrick. Bottom, Dantiz. In support, Kra and Coach Omo on stage.
Despite not having Tiniku, who did decline his invite, the All-Star team from GPL showed that they did bring some early aggression. We saw that yesterday.
Yeah, it was actually really fun to watch because you feel really bad for this team. You know, the guys weren't really able to come, and they had to kind of make a patchwork team to make it all together. But it was super exciting.
Yeah,
Levi pulled out, you know, the glacial augment, Nidalee.
Yeah, I like that.
Showcased the new rune for us. Almost all the lanes were looking for kill lanes. They were looking for strong early game, and they showed that. So really impressive stuff from them, and maybe they'll get off to some early starts here as well.
Yeah, they might. But talking about junglers, though, I thought MikeYeung had actually his trademark aggression, but it wasn't measured aggression. He was over-committing very frequently there and had cost his team a couple of moments.
Yeah, people are definitely going to remember the tower dive that he did. Jungle invade there was a little bit reckless. They had some over-aggression here from him. He is looking, you know, to make a big name on this All-Star stage, and he does have a lot of pressure on his shoulders. We'll see if he gets caught up in a fast-paced game because GPL, they're very comfortable in that style, and maybe he will start that same stuff over again, or maybe we'll calm it down a little bit. We'll have to see because two of his teammates did a lot of carrying yesterday, and even though in the end it wasn't enough to get the victory over LPL, Sneaky and Hauntzer were both very big stars for this team. Hauntzer on the Gnar up in the top lane, strong in the 1v1, and then he was really able to set up Sneaky around that Baron for the quadra kill that made all the highlight takes there. And both those guys really came to perform.
Absolutely the case. So there you can see Sneaky on your screen right there, the Jhin Quadra himself, and sadly lost by 1 CS playing Jhin yesterday against BRTT, which was a bit unlucky there. But so he's out of the 1v1s, and North America only has a single 1v1 competitor left in Bjergsen, who has to play Faker today, so they might have none left today. But either way, though, doing the best they can, of course, sitting at that, I believe it's a 1-1 record. They do need a win here pretty badly, almost definitely, if they want to get out of the groups. But we'll see what comes through on this one as we still wait for the players to all get ready. North America still logging into the lobby.
Yeah, these are short groups. 2 days, buddy.
Yeah,
so
3 games.
Every single game is you definitely want to win this game.
Yeah.
You're going to need to win this game. And North America, since they did end up losing versus LPL, this was going to be big for them, but so big for Southeast Asia. We already talked about, you know, they're even looked up to aphromoo here from the support role. So that's going to be fun to keep an eye down there since the support role specifically is so exciting right now. Is he actually going to go for all-in supports here? aphromoo, one of the early stream showings when he just transitioned into supports was on Leona. And the comedy that everyone always likes to look for.
Support's so easy.
Presence in lane. Get presence in lane, control the brush.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed that much. You know?
Yeah, it's
control
so
the brush.
Those rules still exist completely. It's interesting as well because you talk about the support pool being pretty varied, and I agree. And because it's still so early in the preseason, and a lot of these players haven't been practicing that hard because it is kind of their time off, they haven't tried all the permutations. I was talking with aphromoo yesterday, actually, before one of the interviews with him, and I was like, hey, do you think we're going to see Sona in pro play? Because Sona's like insane in solo queue. We're going to see, and she's like, she dies really easily in all in. She's so squishy. I'm like, okay, that's fair. Have you tried Guardian Sona, where you have the resolve 130 HP plus the Guardian shield? And he's like, no, but that makes sense. That would probably work. And it's like he understands what good things are, but he hasn't had the chance to like play everything and all the permutations and whatnot. And so even if we have a metagame here where it seems to be a lot of arcane combat, a lot of poke, there's probably a lot of other options that just they haven't had the time to try yet because it's been so new. And I think that'll be fun you know, as we get into the LCS season and whatnot, what are the things we see?
I completely agree. And yeah, we're waiting for a couple things to be worked out here on stage, but I'll continue on this because the preseason and having a preseason tournament like this, my favorite thing is that there's extra value added to those you know, surprise strategies, right? Innovators and looking to seek out something different, even if it's not optimal. Like even if in the end, you know, after months and months of play and the meta is determined that was, you know, not a good choice, the surprise factor brings so much value that you can really take advantage with some of those things.
And we'll see if anything new comes through here. Of course, we had seen Zoe work so well. I think she's actually undefeated. I want to say that she's won all of her games, but certainly has been doing well. Okay, great, thank you. I didn't know for sure, but I know Bjergsen won a game on it himself, and we'll see if Patrick lets him do it if he thinks he has an answer to Zoe.
I doubt it.
Yeah, answer's pretty likely no.
For me, so far, the answer has been, I mean, I ban it every single time, but if she does end up in a game on the enemy team, you try and camp her as hard as possible, whether it is jungler or support roams, anybody who can try and roam up there and try and pressure her because, you know, if she uses the sleepy trouble bubble in lane, then you can actually punish her. If she's holding on to it, it's kind of difficult because it's a pretty good defensive and you can, you know, dissuade a lot of people from ganking you. But she doesn't have any real escapes of her own since her ult will bring her back to the spot. And it's actually kind of a trap, a little bit of a noob trap there if you use that.
I've tried to dodge Vi Qs, but it has a cast animation, so I still get hit. And then I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. I'm just going to, well, feel free to blitz hook me.
I've got some advice for you here, Freak. It's age-old sage advice, and it is indeed get good. I'm glad you've already heard this.
Yes, I have.
And maybe you should just take a little bit of extra time to study it.
You're right.
And really perfect that.
And actually get good. I think it's a good idea. Maybe we'll come out here in this one. But picks and bans have begun, and I will now be a better shoutcaster because Kobe's reminded me what good looks like. I just looked to my right. I'm like, that's what good looks like.
You're
there
too kind.
Misfortune off the table, NA banning those away. No Zoe allowed for Bjergsen. What a surprise. No Ornn either, as that remains a omnipresent red side ban.
By the way, for everyone at home, if Freak ever compliments you, assume he's being sarcastic because he probably is. Ornn and Zoe, though, as you said, we expect to see those banned quite often. For me, I always have Ezreal up there as well, but you know, Misfortune has been a first pick here in this tournament, and everybody's adding her to the list as well. Now Kha'Zix even showing his face here. It looks like MikeYeung maybe he wants to play the tankier champions. You know, we have seen, as much as everyone's like, oh yeah, you know, full damage is so viable here, we've seen full tank Jarvans. They've been building full tank. We've seen Sejuani's, we've seen the Gragas's, so you know, definitely still tanky jungler is extremely useful, especially if you've got somebody in the top lane like Hauntzer who likes to play very aggressive champions. And Jayce, it looks like it is actually locked here already. First pick NA Jayce.
Oh gosh, it's first pick NA Jayce. Good luck North America. And it's going to be Shen matchup against it. And I'm actually curious if Levi goes back to the Nidalee he played in the previous game, or if MikeYeung has clearance to pick that himself, because that was one of the champions he made a name for himself on. Does he get to play Glacial Augment, Frostfang, Nidalee in the jungle or something? Wait to be seen. Of course, we already saw the Kha'Zix Respect ban against Levi, and he's going to get Lee Sin for himself. So, aggro warrior jungler staying alive. I love it.
Gauntlet has been thrown. Levi said in his video that he wanted to play against MikeYeung. They heard this guy was getting famous, and he heard he has an aggressive play style. He's like, okay, show me what you got, buddy. I'm taking the skill matchup. Lee Sin locked in here. I think Lee Sin definitely does benefit from the improved electrocute over Thunderlord.
I agree.
You get that burst damage, and he really has been thriving in the aggressive matchups. However, Mike, as we said, still could go for that defensive tanky jungler.
Here comes Sejuani or maybe Jarvan. He's going to build Cinderhulk. He's going to build a Knight's Vow, give Bjergsen his oath, and we're all going to be sad that he backed down from a fight against Levi, but wait to be seen. 10 seconds to go. Azir and Bjergsen definitely going to be good, and they're actually going to quickly prize Jhin in for Sneaky. I believe he was actually the first player to play Pro Jhin across the world. He was certainly one of the very first, but I think he was actually the literal first to do so way back when, and certainly has been a big comfort pick for this guy.
So Azir right now, I want to talk about this for a while because he is back in the meta in a very big way. A lot of the pros that used to main him have been very quick to jump back on the bandwagon. You know, the big buffs coming through. Now, the big thing he always was worrying about was poke. They banned out the Xerath. Looks like I was gonna set up more poke champions. I was like, oh yeah, there's other viable Lux and all that type of stuff. But there you go, immediate Malzahar locking for him. It's not quite the exciting answer, but he does have the options there for the lockdown.
I like the immediate reaction there for SEA. They grab away the Tom Kench ban, one of the most obvious counter picks to Malzahar. If you ult them, chomp him, run him away, he's going to get very little damage on him anymore.
And that's why I've really been a fan of, on red side, last picking before the second ban phase does come in.
Yep.
Last picking your mid laner. Because a lot of the times there are multiple counters right now in the mid lane floating around for most of the champions. So they're able to ban some of those out. And counters don't always have to be lane counters, people. It's not always about 1v1, I win my lane, win game. Come from other places.
Team comp counter certainly, I would say, more important in pro play than in solo queue. Yeah, there's a bit more team interplay that Tom catches the mid lane a bit more in games like this, but Tarek also off the table, really trying to remove tank supports away from aphromoo. Blitzcrank, we've seen a few plays, certainly available. Leona also up, but it depends what the bot lane is going to be for the rest of the squad.
And also, if you're facing someone who has a Shen lock-in, I feel like for me, Leona drops off a little bit because you always have to worry about that, Shen coming in. That being said, they do have Hauntzer with Jayce on the top side, so it might even signal that they would want to throw jungle pressure up there, and the bottom lane would want to be like super safe or something.
Yeah, definitely a possibility here, and let's see what comes out of this one as they wait to lock in their first few champions, or the last few champions, I should say. 8 seconds to go for Southeast Asia to show something from their bot lane. Neither of these teams have actually picked anything down there, so all 4 remain to be seen. Sion in the support role, or is Sion top with Shen support?
Yeah, could be Shen support, technically. I like the Sion support more than I like Shen, though.
Really?
Yeah, I do, because I like the charge up from the push of the Q, and also it's really easy for Sion to hit the slow minion, and he can take Comet as a support too.
Yeah.
Shen, not so much with the Comet. I really do like double Comets in the bottom lane as well, so
yeah,
I like him a bit more from the support role. Shen feels like he's a punching bag.
I'll give the argument for Shen in that if you're not against like Alistar, yeah, his all-in's really good. You get the taunt, you get aftershock, you land the 3 Q hits, it's pretty good, but yeah, I think you're right. End of the day, it's probably Sion bot lane, Shen top. We'll see what comes through in this one. Is Alistar. Boo! He's got the thing, and for some reason I didn't read champ select at all. Of course, Jhin was locked in already, so they needed a jungler from MikeYeung, and he grabs the land shark here. The Rek'Sai coming through, and we'll see if it's Warrior or Cinderhulk. I am still hoping it's Warrior.
All right, things I'm looking for here with MikeYeung. Interrupting Lee Sin dashes. We talked about Gauntlet being thrown by Levi, and MikeYeung takes a second to pause, think about it. He's like, yes, I will accept. I'm assuming that, by the way, that this is a Warrior Cleaver Rek'Sai. That is my favorite way to build her. I think that is the optimal way right now to build the champion. You rely on your ultimate timing to dodge incoming damage, to dodge incoming crowd control, and you play Rek'Sai very much as an offensive champion nowadays. People, if they're tuning in, maybe missed a couple of months of pro play. It used to be the Cinderhulk. It used to be frontline tank, and you just use it for those knockup, but she is very much about getting kills right now. And Warrior into Cleaver definitely allows her to do that. So we'll take a look at those timings.
Yep, and as we tick down the last few seconds, Sion currently is the top laner, and Shen is the jungler. And as 20 seconds crosses by, it means the lineups are locked in. It will be Comet Sion top, and most likely Aftershock for the Shen in the bot lane.
And currently Ignite for that Shen. So the all-ins that we mentioned, those are very real possibility here for Craw. He said he's looking to play, looking forward to playing versus aphromoo. Let's see if he can do it versus aphromoo on his signature champion.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun one here as Jayce faces Sion for the top lane supremacy. MikeYeung on the Rek'Sai versus Lee Sin, and Azir blind pick through Bjergsen facing off against Patrick's Malzahar. It's going to be a fun one here. North America sitting at 1-1, hoping to improve to that second win, which nearly guarantees them a spot in the top 4, but that's not a guarantee just yet. And Brazil could theoretically catch them, but waiting as the timers tick down and the computers load into the game, it's going to be a big deal.
Carl also said he's a huge Reddit fan, and he wants to see a Reddit thread after this game. So.
There will be one no matter what. It'll get 3 upvotes unless he wins.
Okay, we'll see if he's there.
Carl appreciation thread, your free karma, and then you just say, I really like his interview. You can link that timestamp in the VOD.
His English is great.
His English is really improved. We see him on the analyst desk. WTF 2 Shens, lie about it a little bit. Who knows? But we are into the game. Here we go. A very fun, aggressive, all-in potential bot lane with Trish Shen for Southeast Asia. MikeYeung on, press the attack on Rek'Sai. That's leading me to believe physical damage coming out.
Yes, sir. I mean, we'll have to take a look here as well about the opening starts, if we have any deeper wards starting out, because as we said before, the planning going into the early jungle routes based on your matchups really does have a huge effect. And we have one of those matchups that kind of does affect how you think about your early jungle route here, and that would most notably be the Jayce to Sion matchup on the top side, where they want to get Hauntzer to the point where he's freely abusing the ranged matchup. You want to get your auto attacks off, but you also want your brush control, and that means you're going to need a little bit of extra vision there. So we'll see if they can actually secure top side. It looks like we're already seeing that in motion here. North America does invade on the red quadrant of Southeast Asia.
Ooh, bit of damage on towards Patrick. He's going to have to flash away, and there's a summoner down, but thankfully a shorter cooldown summoner.
Yeah, spell book there from Malzahar. 25% reduction from that, 5 more from Cosmic Insight. Means it's not going to hurt too badly. Meanwhile, though, it is going to be the red enemy red start here for MikeYeung and Hauntzer. They already want to establish that control on top side. As you said, Jayce to Sion is a very map warping matchup from top lane.
Oh, a lot of damage there. Jisu doing pretty well for himself. Hauntzer runs away. A couple things to point out. aphromoo is running Hex Flash, by the way. He's also running Futures Market, so we can actually buy his Sightstone or whatever else pretty early on. That'll be pretty fun.
Let's talk about this room then, because I actually really like. Well, let's wait for the bomb to explode.
Like this.
I actually really like the uses of Hex Flash. Immediately when people saw it, they're like, "Ah, this is useless. You have to channel it. You know, people are going to see that stuff coming." But if you have brush control, as aphromoo so often likes to talk about, then you get to channel it and you get that surprise factor. If they don't see the start of the channel, it can have huge ramifications. Levi, though, taking away the Krugs, gets found out here by aphromoo, who's going to be able to claim some of their own.
20 gold for him. Levi still just farming in his face, and aphromoos like, yeah, I can't really fight him, though, because Crow's coming over, so nice deep ward to make sure everything's safe. And now aphromoo almost not even allowed to lane anymore. Looks like he's going to get himself not quite go for the taunt.
Touched you. You're it.
Guess he is, but don't worry. Headbutt pulverize.
That's how you play melee sports, Freak.
That's true. You just say you play tag.
Hauntzer here does not want to play tag because he's losing. What the hell? I mean, so if we go back to the very beginning, rewind the top lane matchup here a little bit, Sion is one of the ones you have to respect walking into that brush blind, and there was a huge chunk of damage as we saw. Meanwhile, speaking of big damage,
yep, the big boy taunt coming across, shock on both these sides again. Damage towards Sneaky, but headbutt pushes them right back out. Dantiz not any longer in range, but Levi's here. He's gonna wear his welcome thin. The Q gonna land. There's the kill and a turret. First blood grabbed up for Tristana of all things. Dantiz 400 gold region.
First blood for Southeast Asia. They're on the board again after
the flash headbutt into MikeYeung. A trade kill in is now. That is a kill onto Levi, and buffs refreshed for MikeYeung.
All right, let's see what he's able to do with this now, because there's so much vision from Southeast Asia on the bottom side. They should be able to track him for the next at least 30 seconds here. Hauntzer, though, since enemy jungler is dead, should know they're up on top side for Jayce. And he has freedom to really take control of the lane. Let's take another look at the initiation here. Kra does start it out, has to flash defensively as they're looking for the combo on him. Levi, I believe, just seen at the last second there. Sneaky does flash, but since the immediate answer from Levi is to close the distance with his own flash, it almost guarantees that he's going to be able to land that Q.
Yeah.
He does so, gets the kill. aphromoo not letting him out without an answer from Mike.
A lot of flashes were burned there. Of course, Sneaky out of summoners entirely, and Afro, Mike both flash to set that situation up. Of course, worth it to get the kill. Now Afro gets to play around with his Hex Flash. See what he can get with that.
And we also talked about the all-in potential from Shen lane here. Shen and Tristana, very scary. You do have to worry about tracking Levi at this moment. If Levi is ever around bottom side, Shen Tristana can immediately engage on you, and that is a scary situation. So here he comes right back down. He just popped the plant, though, so that's one of those things. Scrying plant, when you do pop it, you do reveal your initial location, and that is a little bit of the drawback. Now they know he is around there.
Yeah, so after we went back to base and bought boots and Ruby Crystal, he could have gone into debt and bought a Sightstone instead, chose not to go into debt yet. But instead just has a bit more move speed, and a bit more durability. As Sneaky's going to ward, make sure his red buff stays safe when it respawns. But suddenly a taunt is here, and Afro's going to run out of health a little bit. Aftershock gets him a bit of time as he keeps running away, and he should survive that explosive charge.
Yeah, you got to respect that, as we said. Levi, he popped the plant. They knew he was around bottom side, and the all-in potential from Tristana Shen. You really have to respect that. aphromoo does take a lot of damage for that face check, and I see no reason for Levi to leave the bottom lane. He's got a control ward down there, and he's still camping. MikeYeung, top side though, looks to answer.
Go. Jisu taking quite a bit of damage on a half HP. MikeYeung does not have flash, but Hauntzer looking for the knockback, push them towards the wall, and now Jisu just kite the other way around. But look at the damage output. Jayce doing work right now against Sion here. A few more attacks to come in. Azir was pushed in. A nice flash getting away from the skies, but one more auto would do him in. The shield of Hauntzer does not have any mana left. The stun gonna come in as well.
Let's
buying a few more seconds. One more snipe comes in, and just barely MikeYeung does something to get the kill to come through. But look at that first turret for bot lane, Southeast Asia, up 1,000 gold.
Yeah, what are these NA clowns doing? The objectives there for Southeast Asia. They are able to focus that down. First turret gold is a huge bonus, and they're able to capitalize as well. So they got first blood bonus plus first turret bonus. Sitting pretty here.
Oh, the flash ult coming across. Levi goes for the Q as well. Plenty of damage to be had here. A nice knockback for Bjergsen. The flash to chase in, though. Do they have the damage? It's close. The explosive charge should not be enough. 100 HP left. Bjergsen gets out, putting 2 summoners on an ultimate.
All right, let's see what they're able to do with the recover here from North America as Sneaky's pushing out the bomb side. MikeYeung will shift up through his jungle. No, he is tracking the entire time, and Southeast Asia get to reset after the large amount of gold they were able to accrue.
See if they can keep this one going then. Of course, one thing I want to point out with the runes is there's about twice as many zombie wardens as the previous game. In EU versus Turkey, it was just the junglers, but both Hauntzer and Kra, I believe, are running zombie ward themselves, so a lot more vision will be in this game.
Yeah, it's such a snowballing mastery, and I really love if you have that. Also picking up the extra wards here from the trackers. Both junglers have done that.
Oh, headbutt pulverized. The knockup for MikeYeung and Levi dead again. This duo just jumping on him.
NA strikes back here. MikeYeung finds him in the jungle. Now he's a level 6, and they're looking to continue with the action. Tristana is the next target, but he dings level 6, and that's another defensive tool.
B1 on the support now as well. Look at the HP bar just gone. He's dead. MikeYeung in a killing spree, and it is Warrior. Double longsword. He's got tons of damage.
Sneaky with just the tip of the
man.
W there.
Oh,
Land
no.
on that one. Here comes the Rek'Sai.
All right, she's fine.
Not going to get him low enough for the ultimate. Execution damage really does take effect. But again, this is going to be about another bit of objective here. A lot of damage on the turret. Able to zone him off. And as you said, when vision starts to take over, it's going to be really explosive with all the zombie wards. So a bunch of them have been laid down in this blue quadrant. They'll pop back up. And MikeYeung going to start up the next objective here, mounting Drake for North America, as Sneaky is going to try and finish off that bottom turret. Never mind.
Pretty slow going.
Jhin, a little bit slow there.
Not the best turret killer. The Mountain Drake, also slow, but would, I guess, hasten Sneaky's shoving power when it comes through. It's actually been interesting watching the North American All-Star squad throughout this event so far, because every game's looked quite a bit different. In first game, it was the TSN members playing together, Hauntzer, MikeYeung, and Bjergsen. Game 2 was actually a lot about Sneaky and aphromoo, at least in the early game. And then this one is actually just MikeYeung and aphromoo just like doing everything together and smashing all over the game.
Yeah, I mean, we also talked about how Mike would definitely benefit a lot from some direction here, and then the first kill really looked like, you know, aphromoo. Well, never mind. Let's take a look at this because
Oh, Hauntzer's taking some damage here, and he's not going to go for the Q just yet. Gets knocked out of it, but surely forces him off of XP and gold for a while, as that top lane turret will eventually fall to demolish that, I believe, Cry is running.
Yep, going to be able to take this one, no problem. So they're able to continue with their one turret lead here. However, if you check the scoreboard, my friend, even with the extra turret lead for Southeast Asia, extra gold here coming through for North America with a lot of extra minions, you know, from Bjergsen, from Sneaky, and even another source coming up here as they chase them out. Looks like nobody should be caught though.
Yeah, potential 3v2, but with the good wards coming already from Kra, they're just fine, so no gank to be had from the roaming duo of MikeYeung and aphromoo. Often getting minion waves cleared away. Down CS, down his turret, but has at least a kill for himself. We'll see if anything comes out of NA Jayce a bit later on. Patrick easily clears the minions away and looks for his next objective.
And the next objective probably should just be, you know, a bit of caution here, as everybody else on the team has recalled. We talked so many times about multiple points of pressure. You really do want to sync up when they're going for offensive moves, right? If 4 members of your team are buying and you just pushed up your lane, best to actually also look to go, purchase or even place defensive vision or something. So he's not going to overextend there, and they do just regroup. A little bit of a different lane allocation here. Patrick, with the spellbook that he talked about, is going with the heal and flash currently. Has to go back to base if he does want to change those.
Wait to be seen. Did start with TP, yeah, and he's got 1 extra mark now as a result of it being 8 minutes into the game. So far, no changes. Has his stopwatch ready in case there's shenanigans from his opponents. Waiting otherwise for the next moves here. Jisu staying in his bot jungle. Hauntzer staying under turret for a lot of this game. He's been very much pushed back so far. At some point, we'll be able to group and go for some siege, some poke, but that time is not now. Bjergsen keeps the mid lane under control, and Sneaky remains on the top side of the map instead. So not completely typical lane assignments. Oftentimes you see the duo lane, the marksman and co run to mid, but Bjergsen holding mid for now.
Yeah, and it is, you've talked about the timings. The times are a little bit weird with a support Shen because, we're almost 12 minutes into the game. That's when the level 6 start to near, but he still hasn't gotten it quite yet. Here comes Levi, though, to try and help out Jisu.
And he wants to dive this one. Hauntzer a bit alone now, kicked back. The Qs are all going to land a flash to buy some time.
Oh!
One more kick will do him in the flash to follow, but it is a trade kill. Hauntzer did the best he could in a 1v2. And the headbutt pulverized into the top side. The knockups are there. Quick pop of the hourglass, and Patrick going to survive for a little bit longer. He'll get to through this wave, but now Sneaky to take some shots. Lands one, does not land many of the rest. The chase now in for MikeYeung. Patrick staying alive for longer. No mana for a pulverize, and Afro dies under the turret going too aggressively.
Yeah, he still had the heal there for Patrick, and he's able to heal right back up. So North America foiled in their tower dive on the opposite side. Bjergsen wants to clean up, though.
It's a bit of damage, 200 HP, and Patrick has no way out, but the teleport coming in for Jisu to keep the team alive, and looks like he will be enough to stop the pressure. No idea for him.
That support Shen, as you said, level 6 coming on live, 12-something minutes into the game, catch you off guard, and that is enough to turn it around. Usually whenever you make this play on the bottom side, they commit their top laner and their jungler, you would think the obvious counter for North America would be make a play on the opposite side of the map. So here's the initial play. Southeast Asia, yeah, they've got 2 guys down bottom here, and they want to answer, but Shen turns everything around. Here we go, though. This is another look. Levi, you always want to start out with your kick in scenarios like this for Lee Sin so that you can guarantee landing your Q afterwards. But even so, they didn't have enough damage, so he had to flash back in, and the kill was given back over to Hauntzer. Meanwhile, part number 2, Freak.
Yeah.
This is the tower dive.
Yeah, and Afro actually pulverized a bit early. The mouse pass was still on, and then the re-engage. You think they have the damage up with the heal used right as Afro headbutts in, and I'm not sure if he thought it was enough before pulverize, if he thought he had pulverize still available, but doesn't land the second part of the spell, and it was just a too aggressive dive for North America. The first
Patrick
for Afro.
Looking for Hauntzer. We talked about trying to all push at the same time. Hauntzer's the lone extended member of TSM. But it looks like he just wants to go forward. He's going to give him a little bit of a run around.
Buy as much time as he can, kill the minions off, and now can they even catch up at this one as Kraz here? Answer is likely yes. Levi and Kraken makes one after the taunt. Oh, nice juke backwards to not be taunted. Gets the move speed. The jump forward to buy a bit more time. Now Dantiz also here, and there is no way out for Hauntzer. Goodbye. He falls down. Levi getting his second kill of the game.
Levi getting some more cash there for the Lee Sin. Could build some more damage. He can also build into a cleaver if he so pleases. A lot of times, though, we'll see fairly defensive builds.
And MikeYeung can't be going cleaver second because it doesn't build out of 2 longswords. So it's a lethality or a team out of some kind. Either way, it's going to be pretty fun.
All right, looks like we're going to have the Rift Herald going over to NA unless there's some crazy steal. Southeast Asia, though, taking out the turrets.
He's going to grab the eye for himself. He's not going to leave eye around. That would be silly. That's what the other jungler would do, and that was terrible. Bjergsen's going to push in the mid lane, looking for the Rift Herald to push that one in. This actually be a decent time. No one's defending.
This is an Infernal Drake, though. Remember, the Sion teleport was already used on that bottom side to get over there. So Southeast Asia need to call Jisu down. He can use the Sion ultimate through the river and kind of announce his arrival that way.
Yeah.
So North America are going to have to cover their rear here. They're trying to cut off some of these entry points.
Squad plays for ward control. North America leaving the ward for someone else to hit, I guess. He wants to give away the gold, I think. Mid lane again under priority. This time MikeYeung will summon it up and require respect of Jisu or someone else. This turret Very healthy, though, will not die to the charge.
And this is actually with 2 members, both carries of Southeast Asia in base, so they should be able to push for this turret. They want to get it before those carries return to the field, but it looks like Dantiz already here, so they're going to be able to put some more pressure down.
North America gives them a lot of respect. They still knock it down to the time. Here comes the attempted charge forward. Jisu not going to land that one yet. Sneaky force a flash away as the front lines have re-engaged. The suppression of MikeYeung. They will knock him down. A shutdown in for Levi himself. And Jisu still holding the front line pretty well. Afro no more. Oh, headbutt's not going to matter. 2 kills picked up. Both the SEA jungler.
Yep, the squishier Rek'Sai now really prime target for a Malzahar ultimate. Good job there by Patrick. Able to take down MikeYeung. He got to do nothing in that fight at all, and now Southeast Asia grouping up around the Infernal Drake.
Oh, Bjergsen wants some damage. He's going to land the top. Now the chase through. Croc himself killing a Bjergsen. And the rest of the team to stay alive, and the Infernal Drake picked up as well, so 3 unanswered kills plus the Drake, and a Hauntzer forced to run. Patrick in for this one. SpongeBob, who? This is Patrick. Gets himself into the kill. Dantiz gets the credit.
Oh, I can see him right in the Reddit thread already. Southeast Asia feeling good about this. They get Infernal, and the gold lead extends for them. Now they can reset before getting back out onto the field with more of those wards.
And the 4,000 gold lead, Southeast Asia looking for their first win of All-Stars. And I think so much the community thought that, okay, the initial vote was, a ton of players from GAM, but a lot of them couldn't make it, and now you're seeing them play so well with fights like this.
All right, here's the initiation support. Shen on the back of the top lane. Sion here to get into the middle, but really it's all about the first kill and focus fire onto MikeYeung. Squishy Rek'Sai does go down, and at that point, is aphromoo left in there alone, and there's no way out for him. So 3 members trying to come to contest here for North America. Malzahar Voidlings get a lot of damage down, and the flash from Kra is enough to kill Bjergsen.
Chase through is very nice, and Patrick, knowing he had the damage for flashing, he could do enough damage. A couple shots through, Dantiz also flashing in for it, but those 2 flashes get themselves the extra kill. Kind of worth it here, and a very solid game now to the Southeast Asia All-Stars. Jisu pretty much unkillable. Hauntzer can try and can't even break the shield with an empowered shock blast.
Yeah, MikeYeung comes in a little bit to add some support here, some vision through the jungle so that Hauntzer doesn't get collapsed on again. This has been a big problem for them. When he's pushing out on the side lane, picked off a little bit, and Southeast Asia are getting an objective while they pick him off again.
Oh, the kick actually betrays the empowered cube. It doesn't matter. Hauntzer flashes to his own death. He wanted to get near MikeYeung. Doesn't matter, though, with the top lane tier 2 likely to fall. Jisu. Kra and Dantiz actually the great 2-on-2 making that one happen. Now headbutt Boulevard's looking for Patrick here. Puts the pressure on, but it doesn't matter. Nice job. The cowbell smacks some stuns and stops the ulti, and a kill comes through to Bjergsen. 6-9 now in kills, still withstanding a 5,000 deficit. North America needs to do a lot to get back in this game.
Yeah, because Southeast Asia, while the kills are traded 1-for-1, they continue to stack up turrets. 2 turret lead now for themselves. They have so much room to work with, and the pressure still continues on bottom side.
Smack knocks down some more minions. Bjergsen on his way down. Levi showing up, though, does not have his ultimate, though. Jisu flashing away.
Teleported in, it looks like.
All right, this could be the fight North America needs. 4 versus 2. Good damage onto Sion. Kicks him around, and Hauntzer gets himself his 3rd kill of the game, adding up to more of that lethality.
That is a kill for North America. However, they're not going to be able to get much in the way of objectives because all the minion waves are pushing against them at this moment. So it's just going to be a little bit of a reset here. Dantiz is pushing on the mid lane, but Sneaky's there to take the minions.
Levi takes away some of the monsters, and down to 4,500. North America clawing their way back in. It's about Southeast Asia, though, and what they can do to close this game out. They've got plenty of ward coverage. Green Smite on Lee Sin, upgraded Sight Stone on Krab, both of them with zombie wards, meaning that's going to be vision that lasts for a while. And let's see if they can set up this Baron spawning in 40 seconds. That's normally the next objective, but it spawns at the same time as Ocean Drake, so maybe some split focus.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of work now to clear out so many wards. You talked about how many people in this game took zombie. That means that there's a lot more dirty work to be done. If you want to attempt Baron, then you're going to have to go through all of the checks basically here. Check every single one of these brush before you know you actually have the ability to try and bait around that area. Currently, still a bunch of control wards withered everywhere. And North America trying to be the ones to start up the control of this Baron area, but Southeast Asia, they're still around, and they still have a very sizable 4,000 gold lead here they're working with.
North America still have a pretty big Bjergsen Azir right now, about a 72 CS, and he's got a lot of his primary damage items online. Forces the teleport out of Jisu for the top side. Haunt's TP then will be faster and more readily available. If they can wait 3 minutes, they'll have that TP advantage.
Good point you bring up there with the double penetration completed here for Bjergsen, and already having the attack speed from his Nashor's Tooth. He's definitely set up to have at least a bit of the scaling you're talking about when you think of Azir for the mid game.
Levi bringing in Shen for the taunt, but Bjergsen's around the mix as well. Big damage coming out though, and there's nothing to be done. The kill comes through 5v4. The Azir turret might not be enough, but maybe the headbutt pulverize is, as that should be a dead support, a trade kill, but a 2-for-1 still advantage Southeast Asia.
Yeah, I was watching that and I was like, oh, is Bjergsen going to use the Azir ultimate to protect Hauntzer there? And he uses it to secure a kill trade and sacrifice Hauntzer for Kra instead of actually going for the protect. Not sure, which one, if he actually would have been able to protect him anyways, but they do secure a trade, and it is 1-for-1 now.
The pick on MikeYeung, I think Patrick got him with an ultimate in the jungle, so that's a
2-for-1
respawning
actually.
Rek'Sai. Yeah, MikeYeung was kind of off screen on that one, but I saw the death timer, so still a great pick by the rest of Southeast Asia, and that means they do have Baron control for themselves, and you can see the ward coverage right now over that Baron pit is very, very little for North America.
Let's take another look at it then. All right, so this is the beginning. Saw this one with Hauntzer on the top side. Levi goes in. He's going to have the Shen on top of him. His Lee Sin goes for the ward hop to keep distance. Then they get the Shen ultimate. Bjergsen raises the tower, so you can see his first thought is like, all right, we're baiting them in here. We're going to be able to get some kills. Maybe they were looking for 2 kills in exchange for 1 there, but raises the turret, ults him back into it, and they do find 1. Meanwhile, Southeast Asia and Kra, they're feeling quite good about the state of this game, holding onto their lead here. As you said, they're slightly winning the Vision Wars as it's pretty much littered for both sides, but they're moving up and across the river.
We'll see what comes next for this one. Sneaky snipes out a little zombie ward himself, but nothing's been placed right underneath it. Ocean Drake has spawned 2 minutes ago and now being picked up by the SCA squad. Not going to be a problem at all. Ocean, I think, I really like, even in late game scenarios, the extra regen it gives you allows you to do more after a fight. If you get low, you're not anymore.
Especially in the current meta with so much poke being really prioritized. Ocean Drake, very popular. Sneaky's Jhin's going to be throwing out a little bit of that. Currently, though, Southeast Asia, they've been able to split push a little bit. Top lane is pushing, and they've been able to regroup around that Baron area.
And again, even though North America do a little something, Southeast Asia right back there to get those wards gone. Get their own zombies in case they need them, and more wards disappearing around this side of the map.
All-star event. We're looking for all-star plays, Freak. Who's it going to be here in the mid game? This is where everything turns around. Exactly. The players are looking to immediately would probably be Levi on the side of Southeast Asia, and maybe Bjergsen or aphromoo on the side of North America. Some of the veterans there. We'll see. Baron has started up, and nobody from NA around.
It's Baron against Sneaky. There's always the chance, but it seems incredibly slim. The rest of the squad coming around. Sneaky W's down. They couldn't possibly steal it anymore. MikeYeung waits to go in. The kickback for Levi secures it, and the knockup is there. Jisu going to make sure that Bjergsen does not survive another day. 12-8 in kills. The jump forward after we're going to fall as well. A double kill for the AD carry.
Levi answers the call for the big play here. Knocks out the enemy jungler, secures the Baron, and they're able to win the fight on the back of it.
And slowing the knockup, Jisu maybe he gets himself a little bit more. He's going to just sit under the turret 1v2. Brings in this Shen as Patrick finds himself a kill. And oh gosh, Sneaky soloed out. Another one under the turret as Hauntzer goes down. Southeast Asia just shellacking North America.
Southeast Asia coming up huge here. This Baron-empowered push might be enough to end the entire game, Freak.
It really might be enough. 10 seconds on Bjergsen. Otherwise, MikeYeung is alone after. Doesn't have the damage to do much of anything. Middle inhibitor gone at 24 minutes, and here comes what could be the death knell. Bjergsen alive, 3 versus 5 to defend. Demolish could knock down the first turret pretty quickly. 1 is gone. Looking for number 2. Headbutt pull for the back line. MikeYeung joining as well, but they don't have the damage. A nice big triple stun comes in. The knockback going to buy a few more seconds. Bjergsen, he's going to lose MikeYeung, but he will keep the base alive. Southeast Asia able to grab a little something to kick back. Levi is a monster and dominating at the same time.
Oh my goodness, they all walk away as well, leaving the North American base in ruins. Remember, this Southeast Asia squad are 4 members that had to fill in at the last second and a different coach who had to fill in for them. It's just Levi who is the original here and the name that everyone's going to attach to. Plus, he's coming up with the big plays for his team.
7, 3, and 5 on the Lee Sin. He grabbed it early. The gauntlet was thrown, and it's certainly pretty spiky here. Maybe he's got some Infinity Stones then. I don't know, man, but it's doing well for him.
All right, we'll take another look as they try and defend this space. Bjergsen goes in with the Azir. aphromoo engages immediately, but they aren't able to combo. Look at that CC. Then he sweeps them off, so they're able to get him off of the turret here, but they all walk away with low health, and Levi sees the opportunity.
For the swag, he went for the kick backwards, but had the damage anyway because of Electrocute. Still really awesome stuff. Beautiful out of Levi. And now into the bot lane. Southeast Asia looking to knock down bot tier 2. The 10,000 gold lead is going to make it pretty likely to happen.
I mean, if people weren't won over already from MSI and from Worlds with the showings that we've seen from Southeast Asia, from Vietnam, from the Gigabyte Marines, all these guys, then they're definitely going to be a little bit behind the times because these guys are huge right now, looking to take another victory for themselves as they continue the pressure.
You know, I saw the internet complain that North America got the easy group. I don't know what you're talking about. NA stuck in here with these guys. And it might end their group stage 1 and 2. Southeast Asia then looks for a bit of something. North America's best hope would then be Brazil winning, and I'm getting good ahead of myself, but Southeast Asia look for the play. A nice Comet shot. Dantiz getting a bit low. Hauntzer missing the Empowered on the shot class, though. It doesn't get any damage out of that Q, and North America going to keep trying to buy some time, hoping to keep skilling with maybe the Azir in the mid lane, but he's just so much smaller. There's a full item lead for Patrick in the mid lane. You've got the 80% crit done for Dantiz. I mean, this is not a poke metagame strategy composition at all, and Southeast Asia running over it with big tanks and hard engage.
Closing in here on the siege. Malzahar, Voidlings take up a turret shot. And they're defending. Here we go.
The kickback with the knockup. Sneaky's gone for one already. 5v4, and Levi gonna pop his Guardian Angel after low on health, but the shields keep alive a bit longer. Not long enough as Dantiz gets the kill, but a trade back in as Levi will lose his life through the GA. 2 for 1 still advantage SEA, but can they keep fighting with his low health? Tristana, the Q lands. MikeYeung could go for the ult, but he knows Shen. He is a Shen ult. Did Shen ult? Shen, no, he did not. Can't get the kill through that ulti, so he won't go for it just yet. The siege shooting a little bit longer. TP back in, and Jisu just runs back away. So he TP's in for the swag.
Yeah, I mean, Hauntzer just survived and came out with those home guards. That's why they had to retreat immediately, and Patrick had to use his flash. But as we've been saying, you know, this is the spell book here for Malzahar. Lower cooldown for it. He is able to survive. North America barely holding on here, but look at that Baron power play. Huge leads for Southeast Asia across the board. All right, let's take another look at how it started out. Levi knows that he has a Guardian Angel, so he's happy to tank up the turret and start off the play. Exchanging his GA for one of the carries of North America. They take down Sneaky at the very beginning, which allows them, you know, to pull this off. But even with the GA, Bjergsen takes him down right after he got back up.
Yeah. Still, 10 kill lead Southeast Asia. Their lead 10,000 up in this one. Ocean Drake spawning in 20 seconds. Baron just a bit over 2 minutes till it's back up on this one as well. Look at the 1v1. Look at the play. Hauntzer going to run right back out. He is out of mana. Can't fight any longer. But he pulls a Shen ulti out. That's a pretty big deal. That's a long cooldown for support Shen.
Yeah, decently good escape there right there for him. Punch him back out. Meanwhile, it is going to be probably another Ocean Drake just grabbed up here by Southeast Asia. North America would not want to risk anything for that sort of a Drake this late into the game. And it's all about, can they pull off the defensive play here? Defend the Alamo. They've got only 2 inhibitor turrets left. Southeast Asia have the entire map to work with. And Baron, 1 minute and 50 seconds left before spawn.
All right. That's going to be the big timer then. North America have that countdown. 138 and going. Oh, the knock-up on a 2. They catch up Hauntzer. The stun is there. Q's going to land, and Dantiz getting himself the kill on this one. And now the ulti back across turns him just to mush as Rek'Sai is gone. 2 for 0. An easy pickup there. Southeast Asia now ready to siege 5 versus 3.
Hauntzer goes for the minions right there and gets tagged. Immediately, Jisu's going to ultimate afterwards. Can they do it though? Bjergsen puts up the wall.
Looking for the snipes, looking for the shots on a Levi as well. Good damage, but kicks him right back in though. The turret's got aggro, but Levi's staying alive. Try and make it happen as another 2 come in. And it's Afro and Sneaky left alone. Make it only Sneaky now. 1 versus 5. There's no chance to hold on to this one under 30 minutes. On to the final Nexus turret, and the Southeast Asian All-Stars improved to 1-1, and they've got a battle with Brazil and a shot at destiny in the next game.
Dantiz finishes 7-0-8 on the Tristana. Huge carry for the team. Levi creating plays left and right for them, constantly going in, and what a success story here for them, taking down North America and looking like a pretty good chance here in the group now.
Top comment of the Reddit thread, now the battle is name a more iconic duo, Bjergsen and failing to developing regions of the group stage, but either way, beautiful stuff out of these squads. I mean, the level of play that continues to improve and rise throughout League of Legends. I remember the years ago, you'd call these squads joke teams, but time and again, you're seeing these teams step up, play against some of the best players in the world, and impress while doing so.
Such an exciting one to watch here. Now we got to, look forward in this group as well. How are they going to finish out the day? All right, more surprise picks will be on the way. We've seen a couple more interesting things. This one wasn't really surprised, though. This was Levi going back to one of the champions we originally were impressed with him from, all the way back at MSI as Lee Sin. Now it's even stronger there with the improved electrocute.
Yep.
And he was able to convert.
The really important match now in this group is the Brazil versus Southeast Asia game. If Brazil wins 3 teams at 1 and 2, and you have the shootout tiebreaker to figure out who's man of the group after all. Otherwise, though, you've got a really decent chance that there's actually a shot that China and SEA both go 2 and 1. If you can get the upset win over China at that point, and then that's also a shootout for first place.
Yep.
But Southeast Asia, either way, destiny in their hands. If they beat Brazil, they're in as a top 2 team. They're making it to that top 4 overall in the bracket stage, and they'll face off someone difficult. But a great showing for them so far to get that win over the North American LCS. And again, that battle with Brazil is the all-important one now for this group.
Yeah, everybody going to be looking forward to that one. Definitely also still have a chance, as you said, North America will be represented in the 1v1s. Bjergsen's still in it at least.
That's true. Bjergsen can make that happen. And maybe he can, again, if we have the tiebreaker, he can be doubly effective by winning the shootout tiebreaker. Just a lot of fun things certainly available here in this one. And look, credit goes to everyone. Obviously, Levi was the name everyone knew. You mentioned it before, right? A great player on the Lee Sin. But you mentioned the perfect game, the 15-0 KDA out of the Tristana, out of Dantiz. Really, really good stuff. And it is a team that played the other style, right? It was not a poke team. They went hard engage, a crit marksman, right? Malzahar in the mid lane, no tank jungler. And the hard engage worked. The Sion just barraged into the lanes, got the ulti across, and they played a different style than the meta, and they smashed North America with it.
Definitely successful. More to come for them.
Yeah, so let's hear more about that Southeast Asia win by singing it to Pastry Time and their victorious support.
Hey guys, thank you very much. I'm here with Krat from Southeast Asia. Incredible upset win versus North America. What were your expectations moving into that game?
Basically, we've been losing every scrim, so I think deep down everyone was expecting to lose. But before the game, we just said, okay, let's just play solo queue style. And yeah, it worked.
Certainly did, and I know that you're a pretty big fan of aphromoo, of course, the support you played against here in this match. What are your thoughts about playing against a player like that, someone you've looked up to for quite a while?
Going to the game, I was feeling a bit nervous, but at level 1, I managed to out-trade Sneaky quite hard. So the godlike complex I have of that was gone after that. I was just thinking like, okay, these guys are actually not that hard. So yeah, just going on them. Just going on them, yeah.
Certainly did work out, and of course, I know you're actually a big Redditor. You love to check the forums. I have a feeling there's going to be a pretty highly upvoted thread after that match. What do you hope Reddit says about you guys after this win?
I have no idea what they'll say about us, but I know they're gonna say things like, any at international events. And I'm just looking forward to the memes.
Well, certainly the memes will come. My last question for you, though, you obviously have one more match to play to potentially move into the knockout stage of the tournament. What do you think your chances are up against the Brazilian All-Stars?
Chances against Brazilian All-Stars. Our morale's pretty high now, so I say our chances are 60-40. Yeah, 60-40.
Okay, well, congratulations, and thank you so much again for the interview. Don't go too far away, guys. We'll be back with a commercial break, and I'll hit up with 2 members from the North American All-Stars.
Did they fucking turn on the AC in here?
Oh, my bad.
What was it, you?
I was too hot.
Dantiz not any longer
Levi.
in range. Levi's here. He's going to wear his welcome in the queue. Gonna land. There's the kill into turret. First blood grabbed up for Tristana of all things.
That's another defensive tool.
V1 on the support now as well. Look at the HP bar just gone. He's dead. They will knock him down. A shutdown in for Levi himself. And Jisu still holding the front line pretty well. Afro no more. Oh, headbutt's not going to matter. 2 kills picked up. Southeast Asia able to grab a little something to kick back. Levi is a monster and dominating at the same time.